First of all, I think your analysis was very straight line. History doesn't run in a straight line.
Kid, you cannot tell your neighbor he is stealing ducks when you are stealing funds.
As High Commissioner, I was wrong. As Charandas Persaud, I reacted naturally how any person would have.
I did not come here for that kind of abuse. I did not come here for that kind of abuse. If you're going to go down that road, I'll walk off.
But it's all okay once they're talking. If they were talking, I could not have been here today.
You got ADHD.
I got that.
Calm down.
I think I've done enough in terms of taking our team out of trouble from losing.
Come on, Lou Taylor. That's good. I'm reading the script now, and the first person that comes to my mind to play a detective,
Yes,
but
the
an
Guyanese critic.
erratic
Mikhail
detective
Rodriguez.
is Mikhail Rodriguez.
Why an African slap an Indian? Why a man and slap a woman? Look, girl, how you deal with that? You deal with that.
We must encourage platforms like this because it brings together different people and allows for discussions to take place in our country on a multiplicity of fundamental issues.
Kingdom, you apologizing for something you think I did is wrong. I don't want you to do that, and you should not have done that. Hi there. A pleasant and enjoyable Diwali to you. This is the festival or the season of Diwali. Tomorrow evening is one of the holy calendar, one of the holy event in the calendar of Guyana. The event of Diwali as practiced by the descendants of our ancestors who came here as indentured servants or indentured laborers. They kept their religion, they kept their culture, and so more than 100 years after they came here and made their sacrifice, we, their descendants, continue to celebrate their culture. So once more, a very, very reflecting and happy Diwali to you. May the lights of the world that descend on planet Earth and descend in your mind, your soul, and your heart continue to light up you as a person and continue to light up this world in which we live in. For the third time, a very, very pleasant Diwali to you. In our studio this evening, on the eve of Diwali, to celebrate this great festival of our ancestors, are three Pandits. Pandit Surrendra Tiwari, who presides at Rameshwar Mandir on Garnet Street. Pandit Naresh Persaud, who belongs to the same Mandir on Garnet Street. And the famous name of Ubraj Narine. No politics this evening, but Guyanese know him as the former mayor of Georgetown. But he is a long-standing practicing Pandit. He belongs to the Mahasabha in Lamahar Street. So, Panditjis, welcome to the program.
Thank you.
Thank you, Freddie.
What shall I say? Namaste.
Namaste.
Namaskar.
So as you can see, we have our lights. I don't know if the studio lights will be able to capture it, but this is the Om sign. So I will ask my operator to keep a little bit on it. That's the Om sign. I don't know if the cameras could capture the light. But gentlemen, let's start with whatever you want to start with.
Okay. Shall we all join in prayers? Om Lakshmi Karotu Kalyanam Arogyam Sukha Sampada Mama Shatru Vinashai Deepa Jyotir Namastute Om Ya Devi Sarva Bhuteshu Mahalakshmi Rupena Sanstita Namastasya 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 Namo Namah Hari Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Prem Subha Mahalakshmi Mata Ki Jai.
It's an inexplicable feeling when you grow up, as I do in the Hindu tradition. When I heard that, it just bring back memories of my childhood days and my mom, who had a little temple in her home. Well, let's start alphabetically. Panditji Ubraj, you're proud that you're a Pandit and you're glad you've chosen that path?
Oh yes, I am practicing Pandit almost 20 years now. I have been around and I am in charge of the Mahasabha. Well, I was like my good brother here, Surrendra, with many mandirs, but when I took up the office of mayor, I had to settle myself, so I stick with the Mahasabha almost 15 years now, and give up the others. But the others I'm still visit and so on. But I'm grateful. Pandit, being a Pandit, able to mold your mind to deal with people. Not only that, to promote your culture, promote your dharma in all aspect, and I am very grateful. I took up this profession.
Panditji, Persaud, you've been practicing a long time before. Look at his, he hasn't lost his mother features, which means when you were practicing Hindu Pandit, he probably wasn't born.
Well, Freddie, actually, I am not so much a practicing Pandit, but I've been rendering service to the Hindu community all my life, right? So I'm more, a person of service. Service mandirs and families, all these things I do all my life. So I'm very, very happy. Sometimes myself, Surrendra is at our temple, and sometimes if he's not there, well, we fit in and we carry on. And that happens all the time for many years now. So I'm very happy also, as Pandit Ubraj said, that he's very happy where he is and the kind of thing he's doing. I'm extremely happy to be the person I am, and however I'm contributing, I'm very satisfied with that too.
So you were born into the Hindu culture, the Hindu religion.
I born in a family where my practice was, my father was a great lover of Ramayana, and in the olden days, they used to go about just singing Ramayana, chanting Ramayana, and I fall into that. And my father also was, he rendered a lot of service, selfless service to Hindu community, and generally, so I probably took up some of that from my father.
My father used to beat tassa drum at Hindu weddings. You, at your age, did you ever decide, well, I'm going to be a Pandit when I reach later in my life? Were you a very young Pandit?
I wouldn't say I'm that too young.
You look young.
Say I'm not too young.
Well, what are you eating? You look young.
A lot of bojan, the right bojan.
Right, bojan.
What's bojan?
Bojan simply means food.
Oh,
the right
food,
amount of food.
Oh. Okay. Now, to the event of Diwali, the Festival of Lights. What have been, if you were practicing Pandit, you were in your 30s, which means when you were about in your teenage, you were a Pandit?
Yes, I go to school being a Pandit.
You went to school. So this could be a first for Guyana.
No.
A schoolboy Pandit.
No. You had other people out there, my friends and so on, a Pandit too.
Okay. What Diwali means to
Diwali has many meanings, but we stick to one where it's a festival of light, triumph over good over evil. So it's one of the darkest night in the Hindu calendar, which is Amavasya, which will be observed on Thursday. But Diwali actually starts today, right? Today,
Wednesday.
Today, Wednesday, Diwali started today. Today we observe Dhanvantri Trayodasi. Tomorrow we'll observe Narak Chaturdasi. Then you get Diwali. Then you get Govardhan Puja. Then you get Bhai Dooj. So it's 5-day celebration. It's not only one day. So there's many significant and many meaning of this Diwali celebration.
Pandit Persaud, what was Diwali like over the long years that you served the Hindu community?
Freddie, first of all, before I get into that, please permit me to extend Diwali greetings to all our Hindu brothers and sisters and to all of Guyana and beyond Guyana, all those who are celebrating and observing Diwali. And it is said that once your financial and your material life is going well, you're enjoying the grace of Goddess Lakshmi or Mahalakshmi. And so I would wish all Guyanese, this entire nation, that may everyone enjoy prosperity, good health, and everything that is good on this auspicious occasion of Diwali. For me, Freddie, growing up, I remember the olden days when we didn't have very much, but we in village life, we all make our own diyas. You remember those days when you go and get your own clay, and in every home, every family, you make your own diyas, and you grate coconut, you make your coconut oil, and you do the traditional things. Yeah. That is how it's being celebrated in the olden days. You sit down as a family, and this happened over a few days. You start making diyas like a week or two before. You dry them, you sun them, and you preparing your grate coconut, you make your oil, you set your wick, and so forth. So it was a lot of family involvement, unlike now. And I think now it's good also that you can go and purchase these things easily, so you don't have to go through all of that. But back then in the olden days, in the early 70s and so on, I'm talking about, it was a lot of involvement, family involvement, and was a lot of joy too, as kids growing up during that era. But during those days, Diwali was like, all we used to hear during them time was the coming back of Ram from exile. Ram returning from exile after spending 14 years, and you had this great lighting up and so on. So that was the one idea in our mind. But as time went by and technology improved, more information is available to the Hindu community, and a lot of information is coming out of India to Hindus all over the world. So we are learning now about all that Pandit has mentioned, these 5 days, right, and the reasons for us to celebrate and observe these 5 days of the Diwali, right? So we can shift to Pandit Surrendra a little bit.
Thank you, Uncle Freddie, for having me again on your Diwali program. It is always a joy to be in the company of my Pandit's brother. So you're still young, Uncle Naresh, Pandit Naresh and our former
Age is a state of mind.
Definitely. You're still young. And my dear brother, Pandit Ubraj. I must agree with the words of both Pandits. For me, Diwali is a wonderful time. But as a Pandit, I will say that Diwali is not just a festival of lights, but it's more than welcoming Sri Ram or Mahalakshmi into our homes, into our minds. For me, Diwali is a time to rekindle our love for Bhagavan or God, a time to rekindle our faith and our devotion for God, allowing the Lord to remain with us, not just to send him on exile and allowing him to return on that physical night, but every single moment of your life, you must be able to welcome God and build this love in him. For me, Diwali is every moment of your life. And as by Nareshji said, as long you have good wealth, physical health, financial wealth, for me, that is Mahadipavali. That is the blessings of Mahalakshmi.
Pandit Ubraj, you have the same evolutionary features as Pandit Persaud. You were influenced by the family upbringing, the culture of the family. So grandparents, parents.
Grandparents, yes. Same as in Vietnam. You never used to get this type of deer. You used to make your own deer. Same thing with the coconut oil, but we never used to get the cotton all week. We used to cut the normal cotton and make the wick, right? And that is what we used to use back in the days. Now you have everything modernized, which is something good too. But it's good to remember that we're our foreparents, what they used to be doing to observe this kind of auspicious day, which commence today, and give us this kind of opportunity to have Diwali or Deepavali in this modern way, and move forward with our life, with development in all aspect. I believe that the Diya signify this body of human being, in a human being life, there's a lot of obstacles, there's ups and downs, there's negative force, and a day like Diwali is to sit and contemplate, like Pandit Surrendra said, with God, and ask Him to be able to lead you out of the darkness or obstacle or whatever you may face for the entire year and the year to come, that He must always be there. Mahalakshmi, the Divine Mother, must always be there with you. So to cross that dark force or negative energy and to eliminate those kind of obstacles.
So you were trained in Guyana?
Yes.
And you would have gone through the Bhagavad Gita, right?
Basically, like my brother said, both of us came from a family of Pandits. My father was Pandit, my grandfather, my great-grandfather. So I can
runs through the family?
I can safely say it's in our DNA.
Mm-hmm.
It's in our blood.
My grandfather too, yeah.
Same with by Naresh, it's in our blood.
Yeah. So your father is alive?
No, my father died. He died.
Your father is alive?
My father is alive.
And he's...
No, he's not a Pandit. My grandfather was.
Your grandfather
he passed, yes.
And so you took...
yes.
You carried on your grandfather's tradition.
That's right.
With the approval of your dad, of course.
No, that is my mother's side.
That's from your mother?
My nana. Okay. Yeah, not Aja.
Okay.
Yeah.
So where you did your training?
Oh, so that there in Vietnam, if you go there, you will hear about me. I started there, but not as a Pandit, going to temple and all these things, being around. And when I moved to West Coast, Pandit Balbadar, on the west coast of Damara, Leonard, when I finished school, I used to head over by him in the afternoon, and he will sit with me and we'll go through classes and so on. He had other Pandits there too. He's a very senior in Guyana as well. Most of the Pandits use his books to perform rituals and so forth. So I have been certified by him. Also, I have been certified by Swami Balakrishna. I don't know if you know Balakrishna, by the Naresh used to be there too.
I used to be there.
So at Gandhi, that program lasted about 5 good years.
Yeah.
You know, and that was the first graduation took place at Bodies International Hotel. There was Bodies International Hotels then. You went there too?
I was there.
Yes.
I was there.
So I was certified there too. And other courses, I did 3rd level of Sanskrit as well. And I still got more level to complete. I hope, Baba, we will do it together.
Definitely.
So, and that is how I evolve, Freddie. But it's a wonderful feeling to know your scripture, to go through the Bhagavad Gita, go through the Puranas, go through the Ramayana, and enlighten our Hindu community, like Peter G said earlier.
You went through the Ramayana and the Bhagavad Gita, Panditji?
I did. I love Ramayana. I do read Ramayana. Not so much Bhagavad Gita like some of the young Pandits. But, Freddie, come back to our Diwali thing, right? For our viewers, not so long ago, whenever we observe these festivals, especially Pagwa and Diwali, you often hear our Pandits would echo the sentiments about good triumphing over evil. Right? The triumph of good over evil. And very recent, we had the Navratri, we observed Navratri. And at the end of Navrat, we had Vijayadashmi, which is the day, the 10th day of Navrat, when Lord Rama would have destroyed this evil and wicked King Ravan, right? And so, also during this time of Diwali, and then just after that, Ram returned to Ayodhya, and we had this big celebration, as I mentioned earlier, this lighting up, and we celebrate that. That's what we've been hearing from small, that this is really one of the reasons why we celebrate and observe Diwali, right? So there's also a popular legend that we hear with King Bali, right? When Lord Vishnu assumed the form of a dwarf, right? Vaman Avatar, that this King Bali, he was a Mahadani. He loved to give charity, but in the process of giving, he became very egoistic, right? And one day the Lord assumed the form of a dwarf and approached him when a great yagya was being performed, and he was offering charity. And Bhagwan Vishnu assumed the form of a dwarf and approached him. And in his ego and his pride, he asked the Lord, tell me what you want, and I'll offer it to you. The Lord said, I just want 3 steps, right? And the first step, the Lord assumed a gigantic form, a huge form. He started expanding himself from a dwarf. And the first step spanned the earth, then space, and there was no way left for the third step. And Bali tell him, you can rest the third step on my crown. So it's like surrendering his ego to the Lord. And so there and then, Lord Vishnu dedicated this day, it was during this time that incident happened, that dedicate this day for the worship of Mahalakshmi. And so this also, during this time of Diwali, we usually hear this katha, this story about King Bali, how his ego and his pride was being crushed by this dwarf, Bhagwan, Lord Vishnu, assuming the form of a dwarf. So you can
but seeing that we are here as descendants of those great people that came as indentured laborers, we are inseparable from the origin of our culture, that is India. Unfortunately, I haven't been there, but my wife spent 3 months there. So when we talk about Lord Rama, when we talk about the Bhagavad Gita, when we talk about Bhagavad, we're talking about our ancestral home, India.
Yeah, sure.
Any one of the 3 of you have ever been there?
I've been to India.
Have you been to India?
Yeah. I've been to India, and I am grateful for my ancestors, because if you go to Bihar, which most of us came from, they still live in Luji. They still have that culture there, right? To date. And that is what we fail to realize. If we had been there, we should be in the same situation. But our foreparents, our ancestors decided to stay here and give us a good life. Because of them, we are enjoying all this beautiful outfit, all the beautiful vehicles. And
you bought that from India?
no, Freddie. So I am grateful that they're able to live the scripture, the culture, the rituals with us, so that we can able to motivate ourselves. Because if you do research in Bihar and so on in South India where you came from, it is the same thing to date. They still live in a mud house. They still practice certain things. You can't get it out of them. I was told that yes, the government of India wanted to make changes, but you cannot take them out of that. They continue the practice.
They see that as their culture.
Yes. Yeah.
You have plans to go to India?
Well, I do.
But the Indian Culture Center gives scholarship 1 month, 2 months, 3 months.
In the High Commissioner, in the India High Commissioner office, you mean?
Yeah. Well, I think the Indian Culture Center is run by the Indian
High Commissioner office. Yeah.
The Pandit, there is a up Kovanjan. There is a school there that turns out Pandits, right? The Kovanjan Ashram.
No, that's a different thing, Freddie. That is a total different thing that you're moving to. There's a ashram, and they don't. There's denomination. No, there's denomination in Sanatan Vedic Dharma. In the denomination aspect, you have the ISKCON, like the Haribol. You have the Madrasi, which is the who worship Mahakali. You have the Sanatanists, us as Sanatanists. We go to the temple. We do. Yes. So you have the Arya Samaj, right? You have the like the ashram. They will practice Havan and so basic things, but I have never aware.
But you don't train Pandits at Kovajan?
No, they train the Swamis, Brahmacharis and so on. It's different. It's a different
right.
They're groom Swamis.
I wonder if the famous Swami Ashavanandan was a product of that. Do you know if he was?
I can't really say.
Sure.
I can't really say.
Well,
So,
Freddie,
yes.
Freddie, I'm extremely happy that after all these years of indenturedship, and we as Hindus in this country, and in every other country where Hindus came from, during those days of indenturedship, that we were able to hold on to our dharma strongly, and we were able to maintain it, sustain it, and promote it to this day. I'm very, very proud and happy of that. And I want to encourage every Hindu, all my Hindu brothers and sisters, to work hard, to work together, to help to promote and sustain this dharma, preserve it so that we can pass it on, just as our foreparents pass it on to us. We can pass it on to our children or our grandchildren and those who are yet to come. I'm very proud of this. I'm very happy of this. And today, as I said earlier, with technology, it's very easy, because a lot of information is available to us now, and especially the young Pandits, a lot of help for them with the technology to help more to preserve this dharma.
And like I said, Freddie, today is the commencement of Diwali. Right? Today you observe Dhanvanti Tayodasi, where you give praise and thanks to the Lord of medicine. Yeah. And you will light a diya this evening at the Tulsi plant. Help me, Baba.
Yes.
And then you have the Narak Chaturdasi. You can give the explanation for that part.
Yeah, so basically, like Paniji made mention, today is Dhanvanti Trayodasi. This evening we light one diya at the base of the Tulsi plant in honor of the Lord of Medicine, the forest physician that came from the shore in the ocean. That's another story of Deepavali as well, where Mahalakshmi came forth. So today we pray for good health and long life, because you could achieve much, but without good health to enjoy, what is the use?
Yeah,
you can have the best of bed, but if you cannot sleep, what is the use? So, and the other day we observe Narak Chaturdasi or Choti Deepavali. It is believed in Bhagavad Purana that Bhagavan Sri Krishna destroyed a demon by the name of Narkasur. And on that day as well, persons, they light diyas in honor of Bhagavan Krishna. And it is also believed on the Yamdeep we observed on the eve of Deepavali, where we lighted diyas facing the 4 directions, north, south, east, and west, in honor of the god of death, Yam, asking God to protect your household from all danger, sickness. So basically, Deepavali is a time to pray. And the other day is the lighting up of diyas, the sharing of sweet meats, and giving thanks to Mahalakshmi. And the other day, we observe Govardhan Puja, where Sri Krishna lifted a little mountain. I'm sure you are au fait with Hanumanji, with a huge mountain. The same mountain Sri Krishna held on his little finger for 7 days and 7 nights, sheltering again the ego of Lord Indra. And the other day we observe Bhai Dooj, where sisters and brothers exchange gifts and they pray for each other. So basically, Diwali is 5 days, a time to pray and to be together.
Which part in the Bible, the Quran, the Jewish Talmud, they I guess is the same with the Baha'is and Jehovah's Witnesses. There must be some story. There's so many stories in the Bible, so many stories in the Quran. There must be some story that maybe one can say is one of the most popular of the long tradition, the long history of Hindu Dharma. Pandit Persaud, which part of the Bhagavad Gita enthralls you?
If you're talking to compare stories, that is what you meant, Freddie. If you're comparing the Bible with and the Quran with our scriptures, there is a Puran called the Matsya Puran, which the story of Noah, right? If you know the story of Noah with the animals and so on, well, a story of such exists years before the Bible came in existence, or Christ came in existence.
The Hindu
right?
Would be
it is
one.
there in the Puran with the Lord Matsya. Same scenario with the animal and everything, you know. That story is there in the Matsya Puran. Similar with the Bible. When you come into the Jews celebrate similar thing with Hindus as well. With this light. Now they will observe something in, I believe later on this year with lights too. Then for Pagwa, they have a festival of colors too, right? So if you do a study of all of these things, I am not here to chastise any religion. I respect all religion and faith. But when you compare Sanatan Vedic Dharma is the Dharma that is since the beginning of this creation. And that Sanatan Vedic Dharma is stated that you don't have no beginning or ending. It is there. You don't have to do anything to convert to a Hindu. I can be a Christian and walk into a Hindu temple and accept the Persaud. You know, many people just make mention that I can't take the Persaud. I can't eat the food if the Pandit pray on it. Nonsense. It's totally nonsense. Brahma Arpanam, Brahma Vir, Brahma Nautam, Brahma Gantina, Gantavyam, Brahma Karsamad. You know, it means that whatever God created, we are consumed. We are thanking the Almighty for this food. Is similar now when you read the English. It's the same thing, but we recite it in Sanskrit, right? It is nothing. We pray and beg God to bless this food. Krishna Arpanam. Definitely. You know, before consumed. So when people just come and say that, oh, I am this faith, I cannot partake in the food, I will eat the food, but I will eat the prasadam. And these things happen. And we need to stop this kind of thing. Right? Because we believe Diwali, and I guess the two Pandits here will agree with me, it's not only for Hindus. Similar to as Pagwa, it's a festival of light to bring people together.
But my brother and Pandit Naresh and Uncle Fred, you will know too. You look at the street on Deepavali night. Not only Hindus lighting days, you know. I came from a village, African Guyanese.
Which is
they potential, good intent, Bagaville. They will light diyas and they will take their children and they will light the sparkles and the flares and even go to the temples. This is what we need togetherness.
I used to do a puja for a lady in Buxton many years ago. She passed now. African individual, very old. He's a Christian, but she believes so much in Mother Lakshmi and Hanuman. She will perform the puja, right? She will perform the puja very quietly. I will go and perform it. Right, because that she said she believed in these two deity, right? She believed in these two angel, right? And she will do it.
Hanuman would be as known. Hanuman would be as known to Christians and Muslims as just how Jesus Christ is known to other. Hanuman would be, when most people know who's Jesus, who is the prophet, they would know Hanuman.
Definitely.
Yeah. So I personally embrace all religion. I believe people got the right to believe what they believe in, and I will go to Christian church. I will go to Ramadan service. I will go. I have no problem. I believe that we are human beings. We have different faith, but my principle and my identity remains. I would not drift from that. Right?
You're first and foremost a Hindu.
I'm a Hindu, right? I would not drift from that, and I make that very clear.
I guess you feel the same way, and
definitely.
Pandit, but when you were At what age you decide to venture into the religiosity of
if my memory serves me correct, and my brother is here, by Naresh is here. My father was very strict as a Pandit. I can recall as early as nursery school, I used to attend functions with him and learn to recite mantras. So I can say from an early age, I may not know the age, but from a very early age. And because of such, I am here today, and they can testify because of our upbringing.
His father was very strict, and I know him very well. Right? You don't wrong side the father, no. Right? And those are things we miss today. Please forgive me, viewers, but Pandits today, you can't go there and say that, being a Pandit, you have to get certain principles. And his father was one of that quality, If certain things don't go right, he left the puja, he gone. Right? Serious, he left the puja, he gone. Because he stick on principle. You must get, because if you got a big sport, you get everything. And for your little puja, your little ritual, your thanksgiving, you give God something, and I get half of the thing that required to complete this rituals, And then you go here, not take too long, right? So that is not our topic for today, but is a part of something that I believe we want to share so that people can understand Diwali is not only a festival of light. It's a day of fasting and observing to Mahalakshmi. It's a religious day. One should not consume meat and alcohol, and especially if you're a Hindu, and so forth. Branding Diwali barbecue, Diwali fest, and Diwali this, it is totally disrespectful to the Hindu community, and we stand against those things. Same goes for Pagwa. This day must be respected and promoted in a diverse way and peaceful way.
So, Freddie, another thing here is that from very early, as a little boy growing up, we always hear also that Diwali is a post-crop celebration when people harvest their crops, right? It is associated with crops, right? That after harvesting their crops, that Hindus will cook, make all kinds of sweet meat and share to their friends and family, neighbors, etc. And so that tradition is still well alive today. That is why during this time also, you would notice that people cook a lot of food and sweet meats and they distribute all over the place, friends and family, neighbors, and so on. That is still alive with us today.
And to add to that, also people cut rice and even plant rice at this period of time. Right? Very important to notice.
What is that is that a Hindu religious book you're looking at all the time there?
Yeah, this is a book that was written by a Pandit in the US, and it has some basic information on Hindu celebrations. It's not a religious text as such.
It's written by a...
Yeah. And it got okay, and I think Freddie, we have a popular Diwali song. I think before we conclude our program.
No, but start. No, we can get that.
Our plan.
The studio don't have standby generator.
Our plan is
irrationality and erraticness of blackout. It could come right now when the show ends. So
yeah,
strike up the band.
And we promise maybe the next time we meet on this show or any other show, we'll
organize a nice
a little music.
Yes.
No. You leave that to me.
Right?
You leave that to me. When is Pagwa is in March, right?
Yeah.
So could we do a Pagwa thing?
Sure.
Yeah.
The chautal.
We can work on it and get it organized.
You got the right man here.
I did chautal at Gandhi Youth when I was a student at UG. We left UG the night, went to Gandhi Youth and chautal, man. So what's the popular Diwali song? We got to do more than one, man. We got time.
This is one of the very popular. We're going to do a verse together here and then a key.
But everybody would know that, right?
Yeah.
Except
Just see, Mamaji.
Yeah.
हे अनधन की महारानी ओ जय लक्ष्मी रानी, हे अनधन की महारानी ओ जय लक्ष्मी रानी, तुझे गड़ गड़ पूजे पानी ओ जय लक्ष्मी रानी, हे अनधन की महारानी ओ जय लक्ष्मी रानी। मंदिर की हाड़ा चम चम करे, लाखों दियों के ज्योति जले, मंदिर तिहाड़ा चम चम करे, लाखों दियों की ज्योति जले, भक्तों का मां भंडार बढ़े, हाथों से धन की बड़का करे, भक्तों का मां भंडार बढ़े, हाथों से धन की बड़का करे, तेरे हम पे भी हो मेहरबानी ओ जय लक्ष्मी रानी, हे अनधन की महारानी ओ जय लक्ष्मी रानी। हम मांगते माँ सोना कहा, हम मांगते ना चांदी कहा, हम मांगते ना सोना कहा, हम मांगते ना चांदी कहा, हम तो फकत इतना मांगते, दुकान कोई सोई यहाँ, सबकी रखना निजरानी ओ जय लक्ष्मी रानी, हे अनधन की महारानी ओ जय लक्ष्मी रानी, तुझे गड़ गड़ पूजे पानी ओ जय लक्ष्मी रानी, लक्ष्मी रानी, लक्ष्मी रानी।
You can read the translation. The translation.
O protector of the poor and destroyer of sorrow and darkness, salutations to thee, O divine Mother Lakshmi. May your presence is invoked today. Thou art worshipped from home to home, from village to village.
We got another one like that we can do as the program go on. We got time.
Yeah, we can do another one.
But let's do it. But before, let's stick on the subject of culture. This is very fashionable, Pandit Persaud. These things are expensive.
No, not really.
No, man.
I mean, apart from being aesthetically beautiful, maybe too modest to say that these things are expensive. Any one of these things, these two cultures come from outside?
Well, I'll come from outside.
You're ashamed to admit that. You're buying Ubraj, you're buying expensive but the syringe, they come from what? India?
I can't really say because
you were given it as a gift.
yeah, I can't really say.
The wife bought it as a gift.
Well, I should think so.
So, yes, Freddie. So Diwali is a very, very important festival for us. Very, very important. And we hope that the viewers out there, our Hindu brothers and sisters, can able to spread that happiness and prosperity among like you say, the village community, and lighten up the year. It will be so fantastic, which you know of. Thousands and thousands of deer will be lit Thursday evening by Hindus across not only Guyana, throughout the world. And in India, I don't know if you read anything about it. There was this temple recently opened, Ayodhya Sri Ram Temple, Janam Bhumi.
Yeah.
That is temple. They claim it's a historic issue, and where they celebrated last year, very huge.
So
very huge. Yeah, very huge. And Modi will be visiting Guyana soon too. You know, and it will be great that if there will be an event where people like Pandit Naresh, Pitaji Naresh, Pandit Surrendra, myself, and other Pandits and Hindus and our from our ancestors were able to have a meet and greet with him. You know, the Indian diaspora, to have a meet and greet with him. I don't know if that will be put in place for us. I believe that is a historic moment for us, and every one of us want to go back to India. We want to go Haridwar. We want to see what Haridwar look like. We want to go to the Taj Mahal. We want to know where we came from, what part, how we was living there. You know, we want to know our history. And I am grateful for the former High Commissioner of India, Dr. Srinivasana, who actually planned a program, and that is how I end up being to India. Actually, 1 month I spent in India, right? And I believe that it's a great experience. I want to go back sometime in my life.
You have to go
and see
Definitely.
How you know, I never been to Haridwar. I want to go Haridwar. I want to go Kashi.
You didn't tell our viewers what Haridwar.
No, I didn't go to Haridwar. I want to go to those.
Haridwar?
Haridwar is where the many temples are, the Yamuna and so on.
Which state of India is that?
I believe Maharashtra.
That's one of the popular states of India that most people in the world would know. When you say Maharashtra, they would know.
Yeah. So it's very, very great, and we are happy that you able to pull off this program with us.
You as a young Pandit, you would have presided over funerals, weddings, puja, Jandi, and
Yes.
You find it. You find that those things have done things for you spiritually as a young man.
Definitely. I've grown spiritually because of such. I've grown spiritually.
What part? I've asked him the question about the story in the Bhagavad Gita. Like, give me one about the Bible that corresponds to the Bhagavad Gita. You, as a Pandit, you will be familiar with the Ramayana, the Bhagavad Gita. What part of the Bhagavad Gita, as a Pandit, you find you can personally relate to?
For me, for the Gita, and this is a very famous story, and I'm sure both Pandits, they will know this, where Bhagavan Sri Krishna, he explained to Arjuna to perform your own prescribed duty. I will break this down. Your duty is to host us today, and our duty was to come. And what the Lord is saying, do your own prescribed duty. The policeman out there, he has his duty. The doctor, he has his duty, and us, we have our duty. So from that, when Lord Krishna says, defend dharma, and my brother made mention, defend dharma. Dharma simply means religion, good things, sagacious things, virtuous things. Defend dharma. He explains to Arjuna, and dharma will always comfort you or be with you, following the path of your own duty. It's a wonderful story in the Mahabharata when he explains to Arjuna, if you have to fight your own to defend dharma, then do it. You might stand alone, but as long as you're on the right path, get up and defend what is correct.
But Freddie, to add to that, many people don't know. If somebody come and ask you what the holy text for Hindu Sanatan Dharma or Hinduism, I keep hearing you make mention of the Gita and the Ramayana, but the holy text and the Mahabharata is not the holy text for Hinduism. The holy text for Hinduism or Sanatan Dharma is the 4 Vedas. The Rig Veda, the Sam Veda, the Yajur Veda, and the Atud Veda. The Bhagavad Gita, it is brought it from the Mahabharata, where there's a great war, which you know of, and Bhagavan Krishna encouraged the Pandavas to battle on righteousness, right? And dharma is actually the meaning of truth and justice, right? It's not to defend Hinduism alone, is to defend every human being, because Arjuna represents each one of us, and that is what we are here doing. We have to defend our dharma. We have to uphold truth. We have to uphold justice. We have to uphold this kind of rituals that our ancestors brought with them from India, which is there in our scriptures. We have to know the rituals, how to perform certain puja, and that's why Pandits ought to have training. You cannot go today and pick up and start do a little havan and call yourself Pandit, or hold a harmonium and sing and call yourself Pandit. You must have the knowledge instilled in you by a senior, right? And that senior must be able to certify you. The Guyana Pandit Council, by act, by law, is the right entity or the right organization to certify a Hindu priest in this country, right? So it is beyond that. Being a Pandit is just like you have a pastor association and a imam association. A Muslim cannot go and pick up to be an imam. A pastor can't go and say he is a pastor.
I know there are a lot of
Right?
side pastors.
There is rules and regulations, but that is not here at this point of time. And that is what we, as young Pandits and other young ones that coming up, we encourage them, get the knowledge, so that when we gone, and we are not here, they will able to continue to promote Sanatan Vedic Dharma in the best way.
Which institution are training these Pandits?
Well,
The Pandit Council?
I can't really say at this point of time. I know Dharmic Sabha, they're doing classes.
The Dharmic Sabha.
You have Pandit Council. I'm a part of the Pandit Council. Yeah, they have programs and so on. You have the same Pandit Balbadar. He used to host class as well. I don't know if it'll still continue. So it's Diwali and all these things that we talk. We touch on many topics today. And you make mention on, you ask Panditji again on the Bible and the coincide of scripture. You can remember a story in the Bible where Jesus said, cast the first stone if you are not sin, right? On that lady.
I think I heard about that, but I'm not a religious person.
Good. So similar in the Ramayana now.
Yes, in the Ramayana.
You had Shivadi Mata, who was an outcast, right? Which people looked down upon, but the Lord went and seated in her ashram, and she picked fruits, and she didn't pick these fruits as normal, right? She take a bite of it, and which one sour, she throw it away, and which one sweet, she put it in the bowl, and he partake of it because of her love and devotion, and she was given the greatest reward. She was now bhakta, yeah, right? He was blessed with the ninth form of bhakti, devotion. So it simply means that all of us are sinners. We must not cast stone. We must not criticize. We must not batak each other. If there's an issue in your home, if there's an issue in your community, you must able to help, not to degrade and bring down. And that's a part of Diwali too. We must able to elevate each other to different level.
Pandit Naresh is engrossed in that. Is that a Diwali song there?
Yeah,
Let's have
yeah. You know, Fred, looking back again, I know we're probably coming down to program time now, you know, but before
we got 10 minutes more.
You got 10 minutes more.
So we got time for 10 Diwali songs. Yeah.
You know, in the Hindu calendar, we got a period called Pitri Paksh, right? Where during that period, we remember our foreparents, our ancestors, and we pray for their soul. We pray for them wherever their soul may be during that period. And so, you know, whenever these occasions come, we always remember our ancestors also, our foreparents who came here and who struggled and sacrificed to uphold this Dharma and present it to us. Now, it is our task, it is our challenge to ensure that we take it, as Pandit just said, take it to the other level, ensure that we do whatever we possible, whatever we can, so that we can preserve and pass on these teachings to the next generation. I'm happy during the time of our foreparents here, during an indentureship, it wasn't so easy for them. They didn't have temples like us, right? And they used to sit under trees and pray and conduct satsang. And today we have beautiful temples, and they started building, and they did leave some temples for us so that we can have a better life and an easier way of worshiping. You know.
But I don't know if you know, but there's a very old book called temples in Guyana. It's very, very old. It's out of date. I don't know if the National Library has it or UG Library has it. But anyone, if you have it, I have it, and I wouldn't mind selling it for a couple $100,000 if any Hindu Pandit wants to buy it.
Is Diwali?
You have a bless you, man. I have a bless you with it.
For charity.
Charity, right?
Give the book away. But
No, we give it away.
I'm
We'll
an
take copy.
academic. I'm an academic, but there is a book that I have, Early Temples in Guyana, and some of these temples were really, really nice. How our ancestors built these things through blood, sweat, and tears. But what else have we got to sing? Well, the three of you, I can provide the rhythm.
Yeah, we got another Diwali song that we
the
can
two of them would know it?
Yeah, they would know it. Common Diwali song, and it's the very popular ones too. Right, Jai Hind Mahalakshmi.
Yeah.
Oh, I know that one.
You know that one, no easy
Yes,
one, right?
I know that one.
That easiest one.
Yeah, that's the easy one. Let's go.
जय हे महालक्ष्मी माँ नैया मेरे पार करो जय हे महालक्ष्मी माँ नैया मेरे पार करो झोली बैलाई करी झोली बैलाई करी मैया बंधाड़ बड़ो जय हे महालक्ष्मी माँ नया मेरे पार करो जय हे महालक्ष्मी माँ नया मेरे पार करो तू है दयाल मैया ममता बड़ी लाखों दुखियों के तुम विपदा हरी तू है दयाल मैया ममता बड़ी लाखों दुखियों के तुम विपदा हरी हम भी आए शरण तिहारे हम भी आए शरण तिहारे हम पे विप करो ध्यान धरो जय हे महालक्ष्मी माँ नया मेरे पार करो जय हे महालक्ष्मी माँ नया मेरे पार करो आई दिवाली आई दीपक जली तेरी कृपा हो तो सभी फूले पले आई दिवाली आई दीपक जली तेरी कृपा हो तो सभी फूले पले सुख संपत्ति से गड़बड़ जाए सुख संपत्ति से गड़बड़ जाए इतना सा उपकार करो जय महालक्ष्मी माँ नया मेरे पार करो जय महालक्ष्मी माँ नया मेरे पार करो प्रेम से बोलो महालक्ष्मी माता की जय धन्यवाद.
So tomorrow is the what you call the profusion, the extravagance, the coruscated lights all over Guyana. What will you guys be doing? What will you Pandits be doing?
Well, again, that's a different aspect, but we mostly looked at the spiritual aspect of the Diwali, which is puja. Tomorrow we'll be observing Narak Chaturdasi, the floats and the parade. That's a different thing. That's culture. But we will be looking at and mostly with the spiritual aspect. That is our Yamdeep and worshiping Bhagavan for a long life. That is for me. That is Deepavali.
Yeah, the motorcade and so on, all those are culture activities. But we as Pandits, we focus on the puja aspect, the rituals. That is our field. You know, culture aspect got the own set of people. They will deal with culture. They will decorate the motorcade, they dress the Lakshmi, and portray Mahalakshmi in the different forms. The mother have 8 forms, eight forms of wealth, and so on. So they will do all of that. They will with the trucks and all these things. They will, you know, what will happen out there. But we duty is to ensure that the rituals be done properly in the home of Hindus and they follow the principle and the rules and regulations.
Let me ask all three of you individually, beginning with Pandit Persaud, Naresh, you believe our country, this country, the Hindu community of this country, they are keeping the tradition of our ancestors that came from India. They're keeping our culture alive, and you're happy with what you see in terms of the practice of Hinduism and the numbers of people who subscribe to the religion of our ancestors?
Yes, Freddie, I'm very happy and proud of that. I think we're doing very well. I on this note, I want to compliment all the Hindu leaders of the various organizations, all the Pandits in this country, the young and the old Pandits who are still around. I want to congratulate all the business community who are contributing towards the upkeep of mandirs and dharma, all who are supporting financially, physically, spiritually, and otherwise to the upkeep of this dharma in Guyana. I'm happy that we're going on, and the way we're going on also. There's always room for improvement, Freddie. There's always room for improvement. If we can get better, I'll be very happy. If we can do better than we are doing, I'll be extremely happy. But I'm happy the way we're going on.
Panditji, Ubraj Narine?
That question is very funny for me to answer, because I share some of Peterji Naresh's sentiment, but I believe in the culture aspect we do need to do much more. And also with Pandits, we need to streamline proper training for Pandits so that they can able to equip with the knowledge, equip with the various scriptures and so on. But I still compliment them and give thanks and praise to the business people who contribute the Dharmic Sabha, the Pandit Council, and all of these organizations. I must compliment them.
Signal our time is come. I pose the same question to you. At your age, you probably got about 70 more years of practicing your religion. So you're satisfied that the Hindu community, its culture, its religion, and the other aspect of it are alive in Guyana and will be so infinitely.
I think there's a lot more rooms for improvement. Like by Naresh said and by Ubraj said, we can do much more. But let me say this, I am from the countryside, not from Georgetown. Things over there are different from Georgetown. It's a different life.
Yeah.
And
urban people are always
and what I would suggest, and what I would suggest, I would like to see the government of the day helping our Hindus, not only culturally, but they could help our mandirs in educating our young people, our young ones. There are many mandirs on the west side and the west bank that are close. And if someone out there is listening to me, I'm sure they can do much more, like by Ubraj says, educating our young people.
We gotta go. I would ask all three of you if you can use your influence with the wealthy Hindu community and buy that book from me. It's a rare book.
Well, you can share the knowledge.
A couple $100,000 would suit me.
You say you have the book?
Yes, I have the book, and I'm willing to sell it.
Yeah, we could do a closing prayer.
Yes.
Yeah. Om Asatoma Sadgamaya Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya Mitruma Amritam Gamaya. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om. Lead us from death to immortality, from untruth to truth, and from darkness to light. Happy Diwali to each and every one of you.
Happy Diwali to everybody. You were looking at the Diwali edition of the Freddie Kissoon Show. Our guests this evening were three very informative and inviting Pandits. Pandit Naresh Persaud, who presides over the Rameshwar Mandir in Garnet Street, Newtown. Pandit Surrendra Tiwari, who belongs also to that mandir, but travels the other mandirs, and the famous name in Guyana, Ubraj Narine. He functions out of the Mahasabha in Lamaha Street. This was our Diwali program for 2024. We wish you a happy Diwali, and may the light of the world, may the light of Mahalakshmi shine forever on you, your relatives, and your family, and our country of Guyana. Bye-bye. We will see you on Friday.
Shubh Diwali.
Shubh Diwali.